The iPad 11. Is this still worth buying in 2026? I've always called this the people's iPad, and I think for the majority of you, it is worth the purchase. Let's get into the reasons why. So this is the iPad 11, also known as the A16 or the iPad 11th Gen. This is Apple's budget entry iPad, the first in the lineup, and it replaced the iPad 10th generation that came out in 2022. So this model came out in 2025, currently rocking the Apple A16 chip that was debuted in the iPhone 14 Pro series. It comes with a base storage of 128 gigabytes. Now for the color options, it comes in 4 color options, which is blue, pink, silver, and yellow. Now, let's get into the main conversation of should you or should you not buy this iPad. I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. I want to tell you guys the negatives of the iPad first, and then we'll go into the pros and why I think it might be worth the purchase for some of you. So starting off with the negatives is obviously the display. Now, it is 11 inches, but it is an 11-inch display that does not have anti-reflective coating. So if you're going to be in a room where there's going to be quite a bit of light, you're going to be able to see some reflections. Unfortunately, you can't avoid them. Moving on to the rest of the cons, again, the screen only has 60 hertz. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, for me, that is something that is quite significant. I want to say when the iPhone 13 Pro Max first came out and I was exposed, to the faster 120 hertz display screens, every time I go back to an Apple device that doesn't have 60 hertz, I can feel the difference. But how many of you will actually be able to notice the difference between 60 hertz and 120 hertz? Number two, the processing. Yes, you might not be able to render 8K video that's 2 hours long, but what are you going to need to use this iPad for? Now, I'm going to summarize what 80 to 90% of you will ever do with a tablet, and that is entertainment and notes. Nothing more, nothing less. You're going to be on Netflix, you're going to be on YouTube, you're going to be playing games, and you're going to be taking notes, PowerPoints. At best, that's all you're going to be doing. Now, if you need extra processing power, you're not going to consider this. But if you're that 80 and 90% who are going to be doing what I've just described, then this iPad is exactly what you need. The beauty of this iPad is in the value. The value when we factor in what you are getting compared to what you need and what you're going to spend. So if I take the iPad A16, as I mentioned, it's probably 60 to 80% of other iPads. Now, as for the price, depending on where you are, it's going to cost anywhere plus or minus $500. But at that price point, there's no better offering that's going to give you exactly what you need, how you need it within the budget. I've made some really big claims and it's time for me to justify them. Number one pro of this iPad is the form factor. It's 11 inches and I feel 11 inches is the perfect sweet spot. Some people complain that the iPad mini is a bit too small and the 13 inches is now teetering within laptop territory, but that 11 inch is the perfect combination of portable but functional. And the design, of course, it's a very slim, a very sleek iPad. Again, as I mentioned, it comes in different colors, even though that's not going to matter because you guys will never use this iPad without a cover. Remember, the iPad is made of glass and glass breaks. So if you do need a cover, go over to electrix.shop and pick out what you need. Next, let's get into the battery. Now, depending on your usage, this is going to get you anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day. But I do need to add the caveat that this does not include gaming. So from my testing with this iPad, I've realized that if you are playing those heavier games, they are going to eat quite a lot of your battery. Again, as I mentioned, I like using my devices on max settings, so my brightness was high. I didn't have low power mode on, and that did make an impact. Now, let's talk about the speakers. The speakers aren't necessarily the best, but they are serviceable. So you've got a quad speaker setup. You don't actually have 4 speakers, you've only got 2, but it's a quad speaker setup. Now, as I mentioned, they're not going to be the loudest, so you're not going to be expecting to throw a party using your iPad. But again, most of you are just going to be using this to consume your content. Some of it is going to be done late night, so you won't really be expecting to get, loud sound. But for what you are going to get, as I mentioned, it is serviceable. You can hear it, although I feel like they do leave a lot desirable in terms of the bass and the clarity. Now, I've got to be honest with you guys. I myself am not an iPad person. My belief of technology is that you must get the technology that best suits your lifestyle. So, predominantly, I am an audio person. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. Number one, I am always listening to music. So, my phone is in one pocket, my AirPods are always going to be in the other pocket. Everywhere, anywhere where I am, I'm going to be listening to music. At the gym, even when I'm taking a shower, I'm playing my music out loud and everyone is listening to my music. They now know it, they now love it. But that means most of what I need is going to involve my hearing. However, if I were going to get an iPad, let's say I had the reason to, and I needed some of the functionality that a tablet gives you, the A16 or the iPad 11 would be the option that I would go for. Number one, if you factor in the cost and the price of what you're paying, and number two, again, what exactly I'm getting. So I can imagine if you're a student or you're just an adult, but it's a general usage. Number one, you need entertainment. I can imagine if I had, yes, I can watch my YouTube videos on my phone, but if I had a slightly bigger screen, it would make the experience slightly better. Again, I'm a Knicks fan. So when we were watching the NBA, I was having lots of fun waking up in the morning, but I was watching the videos, I was watching the games on my phone. I can only imagine if I had a slightly bigger screen, I was going to enjoy the entertainment a bit more. I think what the iPad 11 gives you, I think what it combines in terms of its features and in functions, I think that would be the best option for, again, 80 to 90% of you who are probably just like me. Now, let me say this. You truly unlock the value and potential of an iPad when you add accessories. And of course, one of the best accessories to use is the Apple Pencil. So the iPad 11 works either with the first generation Pencil or with the Pencil C-Type. Now, of course, the drawback is it's not going to work with either the second gen or the Pencil Pro, which means you won't get those pro level features. However, again, for the general use, maybe you're taking your iPad on the go, you want to sketch some mood boards, maybe you're having some people sign some digital documents, it's still going to work. Again, you're a mid-level graphic designer who prefers to use Canva, you want to sit in a coffee shop, the Pencil C-Type, which is my personal favorite of the two, is definitely going to get the job done. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, guys. Having a pencil makes you look professional. What's the point of having something if it's not going to make you look good? The pencil makes you look professional. If you walk into a room and you start writing using a pencil, everyone's going to take you seriously. And trust me, that goes a long way. So, this iPad is the perfect sweet spot. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, and for 80 to 90% of you, it's going to give you everything that you needed to do so. Now, am I going to get one? Probably not. But do I think you should get one? Well, if you're a student, you're an adult with general use, you're an admin, or you're a budding creative, then I think this is the best option for you. Now, if you're looking to get one, I'm going to put a link in the description for you can pick one up. Of course, shout out to ElectroX for sponsoring this video, my favorite sponsor of them all. This has been the Tech Guru on my review of the iPad 11. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you turn on bell notifications so you don't miss the next video. And I'm gonna see you guys next time.